I think you're right. I haven't been exposed to it.
You have for 3, 5, however many years we've been doing this. I've been trying to pound it into your head that these things are cool, but you won't accept it. It's like I'm trying to put a square block in a round hole, and the round hole is your smooth brain, and I can't get it in there. What is going on? Hey guys, welcome to Overcrest. I'm Kris.
And I'm Jake.
And we have some sort of episode for you guys today.
I think you're right.
Some sort of episode.
I think it's going to be good.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right, we got news.
You always got to be optimistic.
Well, you do. That's not my...
Yeah, but you're usually the one that always introduces it as, we got an awesome episode for you today.
It should be something. It should be something. That is for sure. All right, let's do this. What do we got? I've got, you know what I've got?
What do you got?
I have a new car that is currently being delivered to my house right now.
Yeah.
Actually, it might be there. I wish I had a camera that I could pull up and see.
Well, you just got a call that I only heard one side of.
Yes.
And I was like, yep. Yeah, put it in front of that garage door. Yep, that one right there.
That one.
And I
right
go,
there.
okay, yep, there is being a car delivered to your house.
All right, and what is it?
It's another old Mercedes.
That's all it is.
It's very very faded and red.
It does.
And
Well, it's
I'm
single stage paint.
Skeptical of it in general.
I
was trying to think of what I'm skeptical of, just in general.
Okay, why?
This is another vehicle that has not run in like 4 years.
Well, the guy said 3,
which means at least
5.
4.
Which means 5 at least.
Yes.
Maybe more, maybe
and
6.
Was it listed anywhere? All I know about this thing
Nope.
is you found it in a parking lot.
So the
and
guy
then
that
proceed to what? Show up and just, hey, does anyone know whose car this is?
Okay, so here's what happened. So you remember Ed's Benz?
Yes, I do.
An acquaintance of mine, Jimmy.
Okay.
He saw Ed's Benz.
Jimmy is the enabler.
He is the enabler for sure. He sends me shit he sees all the time.
Okay.
And half the time I'm like, I can't right now. But he sent me Ed's Benz, which worked out. I ended up buying Ed's Benz. And then he also sent me this thing. Hold on. I'm getting messages from actually Riverside, the program that we use to record right now.
And what is that telling you?
It is telling me it's just beeping incessantly.
Oh, well, that's nice.
I don't know why.
It's nice that a podcast recording software decides to beep at you. Yeah.
It was the support thing I had a question for.
Okay,
Anyway, so the Jimmy sends me, he goes, hey man, we're remodeling this auto shop.
Okay.
And they're taking down this wall, they're redoing the parking lot. These cars have got to go. So there is an S500 there, which has a brick on the trunk lid.
I saw that.
Holding it shut.
What?
And then there is this thing. And all I got was a picture. I got a picture of this thing sitting in a snowbank. It was being held into the ground with ice.
Yeah.
Just like my fucking garbage can. And the comparison is not lost on me at all.
Is also red, I believe, like
it's
your
also,
garbage can.
My garbage can is also red.
Yeah.
That is true.
Your garbage can is shinier than this, I'll say.
Here's what's kind of funny, though, is there was so this thing is what's called a W116 in the means absolutely nothing.
Right, yeah, as opposed to
nomenclature.
W114, as opposed to
That's what I also have.
W124, maybe? Is that a thing?
I have not had one of those yet.
But it is a thing.
That's a thing.
So just keep listing out W plus 3 numbers. It's a Mercedes.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
So W114, you said?
Yes. No, it is a W116. Hold on just a second.
Does a 16 mean that it's two better?
It is
than a 14?
It is bigger than a 114.
Okay.
That's for sure. So it's a W16 instead of a W114. It is the first S-Class.
What year is this?
I don't know. It is somewhere
generally
mid to late 70s.
Okay.
So now
is it called an S-Class?
It is an S. It is an S280.
Oh, okay.
Or 280S, basically.
Right.
So this is the first car that was considered an S-Class.
So it's a bigger sedan.
It is a big ar.
Okay.
So this is the short wheelbase one, which is still massive.
Right.
Okay. So you have S, which means you're rich,
super
but
big.
No, it's basically if you have an S, it's carbureted.
Okay.
Okay. If you have an SE, it's fuel injected, CIS.
Okay.
If you have an SEL,
yes,
it is CIS long boy.
Ah.
Okay. So that's the long wheelbase.
Yes.
And here's what's completely funny about this car and finding this car. Many thanks to Jimmy for showing it to me. I'm going to send him like a gift certificate to some steak place or something. He's he's ruined my life now for the second time.
The gift certificate needs to like have work done to it in order to be used.
This guy, so essentially he's ruined my life at least twice because the brown car, the motor ended up being a total shitbox and it blew a tire on the road. It's like, oh my God. But great stories have come from the cars that Jimmy has sent me. Anyway, so I was looking on Facebook just for cheap cars. Yeah. I need a cheap car. Yeah. Because I just sold my daily driver.
All you have now are projects.
That's it. That's all I have. That's it. I don't have a car. I sold the gold Mercedes to give to Marco for the engine.
Yes.
So I have no car.
Yeah.
None. Until I drive the car back from Luftgekühlt in May. And then I will have a running car.
911.
A 911. Which I don't mind driving that every day all summer.
Yeah. Okay.
That's fine with me. But I still need a car now-ish. Mm-hmm. And I would like to find whatever excuse I can find to buy it. So that's my excuse, is that I don't have a running car and I need to find something.
But you bought a car that is you realize you bought a car that is a project.
Let me explain.
Yeah, you need to do some explaining. Oh, I need a daily. I need a driver. Here's another project that won't run.
Okay, so this I'm looking at other cars on Facebook Marketplace. Right now there is a black 450 SEL.
Okay.
Which is a 4.5 liter V8, fuel injected, long boy.
Ooh.
Okay, so this is like pretty cool. And so but the rear, someone had tried to break into it. Okay. So the rear, and it's $1,800.
Yeah.
And the rear door frame has been folded in. Someone had tried to break in with like a crowbar. Just destroyed the rear door.
Wow.
The rear quarter panel is destroyed. And I was like, all right, I'll come look at this thing.
Wait, so you're
so this is the car I'm looking at.
The red car's being delivered.
Stop. Just let me.
Okay,
I'm looking at this black car. I'm looking at this thing. I'm physically talking to our buddy Colin and Alex.
Yep.
Let's go look at this thing tomorrow.
Yeah.
Awesome. 5 minutes later, Jimmy enters my life again.
I get it. Okay.
Okay. And then he shows me this red thing, and I'm like, well, okay. And he's like, it's probably cheap. And I go, well, it should be because it hasn't run in 5 years. The other thing runs, but it's one of those things where the black one is the more you talk to somebody, the more you discover what's wrong with it.
The more
the ad is like runs great. The ad doesn't talk about the damage, why it's there, nothing. Okay, it's just okay. So the more you discover, it might need a tune-up. There's some scratches here, which is fine. I don't care.
Right.
My thought would be this fun thing I was going to do is go get this black car, go over to Hans Foreign Auto, get a red door from a red one that I know is there, and slap the red door on the black car. On the black car,
red on black,
just as an homage to the way the 911 used to be. I thought it would be fun. So we were gonna go look at this thing. This guy's like, "Do you have driver's license? Can you go DMV me?" Like very poor English.
Okay,
very difficult to communicate with this guy. I said, "Yeah, I have a driver's license." I mean, where's this guy like?
Okay.
Yes, I have a driver's license.
Yes.
Okay, so we're trying to work out a time to go look at this thing. So, okay, we're going to go meet Jimmy at 6. That means I can go see this other guy at like 7:30. The guy goes, 7:30 is way too late.
Okay.
And I'm like, really? Is it? So we never ended up going to the other guy.
Oh, so you never saw the black car?
Never saw the black car. So that car, I did end up offering him like yesterday. I said, I'll give you $500 for the car.
Sure.
Because it's totaled.
Yeah.
It's literally totaled. The rear quarter panel is wiped out.
Yeah.
And the door is bent.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's totaled. The insurance company would total this car.
Is this a similar vintage?
Exactly the same car.
Okay.
Exactly the same vintage.
Got it.
Okay. But it's the long boy.
Yes.
And
black and V8.
And black and V8, which is cool.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I cannot get away from this 280 M110. It is the same engine.
Yeah.
That is in the white
driven
car.
To death car.
So this will be my third M110. So I had the one out of Ed's Benz. Now I've got the one that I got from the junkyard.
Right. And now
I've got this one, which is like, you know what would have been great? Is if this red car would have came along and I could have just pulled the motor out of it and put it in the white car.
Yes.
But I've already paid for the other
thing. I know
so
you have.
And it's a great motor. So
it's super clean.
Yeah. Did we talk last week about getting rid of stuff and how I shouldn't have?
You know, I'm trying to remember, but I know what you're like. We haven't talked about it for this because
I keep throwing things away.
Have this red car that is coming to you
Yes.
that does not run, is going to need work.
It's going to need work.
And you had everything.
I had everything.
That you could have bolted right on it.
And I sold it all.
Yep.
Because I didn't want to have junk around.
We did have this conversation about something different prior.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what that was.
Probably the rear differential and like all that.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. Yep.
Anyway, so it has happened again.
Yes.
But good thing is I do still have the intake manifold and the carburetor conversion, the Weber kit.
Oh, you do?
I do still have it. I found the intake manifold. I didn't throw that away.
Well, that's perfect then.
If I need it, it's there.
Perfect.
So this is a carbureted car anyway. It's not. It's not.
Yeah, but it uses what? Like some.
It's a 4-barrel Solex.
Okay.
What do you mean some single
carb?
What does a V8 use? What is a 700 horsepower Dodge Charger RT
single 4-barrel?
Okay, so this has a 4-barrel on it. It's okay to have a 4-barrel carburetor. Just laughing at, it's only got a single carburetor.
Well, I know that the carb conversion kit that you had for the other car had like dual something, right?
It takes it down from a 4-barrel to a 2-barrel. So it's not ideal. It's like a Weber something or another.
Weber 2-barrels.
Nope, that's a different engine. So that was the single cam engine.
Okay.
Has 2 Zenith carburetors on it.
Okay.
This has a single Solex 4A1 carburetor on it.
Okay.
Are Solexes French? I think they are.
I actually do not know.
Why would you ever put a French carburetor, French anything on anything except bread?
I think it is strange that Italian carburetors, like all Webers are Italian.
Right.
Which you'd think like Germans would have the market on carburetors. Like it's a very precision instrument, carburetor.
I just think you just talk first to market. I mean,
I guess
with like performance was Weber.
Yeah.
Zeniths, the Germans were interesting because they believed that whatever you were given, that is the performance of this vehicle.
Right.
You will abide by the performance of this vehicle. These Zenith carburetors, we've made them for this vehicle. There's no reason you would ever
Why would you change?
Why would you change? That's what it's all about. Yeah. Okay? So Webers are more tunable, as you know.
Right.
Your Zeniths are kind of a pain.
In theory, that's what everyone believes. But now that we have a guy and I have sources for parts, you can tune them.
That's fine. But in general,
yes,
over the course of decades,
correct,
Zeniths are a pain in the ass. However, they do work really, really well.
Sure.
When they are set up nice and rebuilt and everything else. Yes. When I had the 2 Zeniths hooked up on the single cam engine that originally came in my white car, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Drove really nice.
Perfect.
Until I realized that I wanted to blow my world up and put a twin cam engine in it. Anyway. Okay. So I go to look at this car. I walk up. Doors are locked. No problem. I'll just wait for the guy to get here.
Yes.
Guy gets here. Do you have the keys? I do not have the keys.
Wait, how does he...
I find out that this car was owned by his dad. So this guy owns the shop. This car was owned by his father.
Okay.
So as his father owned this car, apparently drove it to that spot. It ran when parked.
Right. As it does.
As it always does. And there it sits.
Why is that supposed to be a good thing? Ran when parked. You know what I mean? Think about it. Because very rarely is a car towed to a location and then gets sold from that same location. The vast majority of the time, it is the car was always ran when parked because how'd it get there? Well, it was driven there.
Or towed there. Especially at a shop, it could be towed in.
Yeah, I guess.
It could be leftover from a customer.
It's just interesting, like ran when parked. It's supposed to be such a positive.
I think
you know what I mean?
It's almost a joke.
Right.
At this point.
Yeah, but everyone says it. Like this guy said it as a good thing.
Ran when parked. The guy's like, I'll go get the key.
Okay.
From my mom who lives nearby.
Perfect.
Great. So me and Alex and Colin go have a burger.
Yep.
Come back. I went into the dungeon of burger places. There's no cell phone service. So I walk back out. The guy sends me a picture of like this bomb of Mercedes keys. and he just says, yeah, there's none of these work. So he thinks that there was like a big bag of Mercedes keys that he got rid of at one point or something. So so
was this a Mercedes shop?
I don't know.
Like, why does he have so many Mercedes keys?
When his dad owned the shop, maybe.
Okay.
And I think his dad has passed away.
Yeah.
And I don't really know. I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea. I don't think so. It doesn't seem that way anymore.
Okay.
So
the idea of throwing a bag of Mercedes keys just seems very odd to me. Like first of all, you have a bag full of Mercedes keys.
Right. Yeah. I just don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Continue the story. Okay, you don't have a key.
So now I come back. The guy's like, I don't have a key.
It's
like, okay. I said, well, and now I'm like, There's no key. That's kind of a pain.
Is there a title? Yeah.
No, there's no title.
Oh.
Can you get a title? Yeah, my mom can get the title. Okay, so we can get a title.
Okay.
But in my mind, all of a sudden, the car needs to be really cheap because it has become a problem because there's no keys.
Yeah,
and you either need to buy an ignition switch, buy or have a locksmith come and like make these. You can rake these. It's like kind of like an early.
I was gonna say you can get the car open.
I can get the car open. You can rake it. I've got a rake.
Here's what my question is: a lot of like Porsche, for instance, if you have the VIN, they still have record of what key went to that, and they can cut you a new key based on it.
Yes, you can do that with Mercedes. However, I need to have the title in my name before that can happen.
Yes, you do.
And I'm way too impatient for that shit. I'm way too impatient. I need to get this thing open.
So pick the lock.
I will. I've got a rake, and I also bought like a break into a car kit from Amazon.
Yeah, I have a whole break into a car kit too.
The little inflatable thing with the little rods and arms and stuff. As the car is probably in my driveway right now, probably beep, beep, beep right now. So when I go home, I'm going to be trying to get the tow truck backing into my driveway.
Okay, but you can't just use beep, beep, beep as a verb.
Well, I think everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Okay, so your car is beep, beep, beeping into your driveway.
Yes. So and I'm going to rake the key and see if I can get it open.
So my point is then just hotwire it or basically like take the ignition apart.
Take the ignition apart.
That way you can wait for the title to come to get the correct key and not have to disassemble everything.
Correct. That's the plan.
And get it running while you wait for it.
That's the plan. So this car is carbureted. So it should run. Okay. You know, you get into the CIS stuff and if it sits too long, it can be an issue.
So because it's an S, it was carbureted.
So
which I like.
If you remember, I got that 911 running.
Yeah.
But that car had also been drained of fuel. So there wasn't any fuel.
There and
Granted, there was a nasty amount of fuel in that thing. I can't tell you the truth. I can't believe it ran. You know, I was pretty positive about getting it to run. There was a pretty good case to be made that it wouldn't.
Yeah.
I figured we could get it to like
cough
and like chug along or whatever. Yeah. But it runs great. Unbelievable, really. But the single carburetor that's on that 280S.
Yeah.
Come on. That thing, I should be able to take that thing apart.
Oh, yeah.
Clean it up.
Yep.
And go from there. The tank is really easy to take out.
Do you have the rebuild kit sitting on your bench right now?
No.
You ordered it right away?
No, but I do have that Weber conversion. So if it doesn't run on the carburetor that's there,
you're just going to bolt the other manifold up?
I'll just bolt the other manifold up and just be done with it and be down the road.
Okay.
So that's kind of where it's at. I just have did you watch the reel that I posted?
With the Mercedes race car?
Yes.
Yeah.
What was it? What did you see?
I don't remember. It was a Mercedes going fast.
You don't even remember.
No.
So you didn't watch it, is what you're saying.
You
legitimately didn't watch it.
Probably while I was on the toilet and then scrolled to the next thing.
So you didn't watch it. How long was it?
Probably 30 seconds.
You didn't watch it. Just tell me the truth, Jake.
I remember seeing it.
All right, I'm pulling it up.
Okay, and then what?
Because I want to ask you some questions.
Oh, God.
Okay. Instagram, over Crest. All right, we're going to pull this reel up.
Uh-huh.
We're going to share.
Uh-huh. In the meantime, I'm also going to go through a mental list of how this new project that you have is a really big project. So it's red with red wheels, first of all. But do you still have those Penta wheels?
Yes.
That'll bolt right up?
Yes.
Awesome.
And I don't
new
feel like,
tires on them.
I don't feel like playing this reel right now. Just because it wants me to log in and I don't remember my password.
We can get to questions in a minute.
Okay. Okay, you had questions. I'm sorry.
I was just going to mentally talk through why this is such a terrible idea that you're bringing this car home. Because and
I didn't tell you what the price was.
I know.
That's what we're getting at.
I do know what the price was.
How much was it?
It was nothing.
It was free.
Yes.
It cost me $200 to tow it to my house.
Perfect.
That's it.
Yeah.
There is no risk whatsoever.
Right.
None.
You're right.
There's none.
There's only upside.
I
just find it funny that you were looking for a daily driver and you somehow got a car in your driveway now that doesn't run.
Yes. You doubt me.
I don't doubt you.
You don't doubt me though, do you?
I don't doubt you.
Because what do I do with shit boxes that I drag home? They fucking run.
Yes, they do.
They do. I will get it running.
Saying, this is a terrible idea to buy another project on top of your other projects when you were trying to look for something that wasn't a project.
This is different. This is like not a custom thing. Everything else is like put this custom thing and other thing. Yeah. This is just like this car just make this thing run.
Talk me through it. It's a red. It's a super faded red.
Super faded red, but it's single stage. It will buff out.
Sure.
I'm going to go home from this podcast.
Get out the buffer
and do the trunk lid.
Love it.
just to show you. I spit on my thumb and rubbed it a little bit,
that.
and it gets shiny even from the spit from my thumb. Okay,
it's a spit shine.
Spit shine. That's a real thing.
I know.
Yeah.
Rust?
None.
Wow.
It's really clean. There's like some on the rockers, like some of the undercoating had peeled away a little bit.
Okay.
But you look underneath the car.
But it's not like you have a rusty quarter panel or something.
No, there's
really
no
good.
rust on the flares or anything.
Okay.
If it had rust, I wouldn't take it.
Sure.
You couldn't give me a rusty car for free. I just don't want a rusty car. No, I don't want a rusty
car. It would
car.
depend on the car for sure.
I guess, but you couldn't give me one of these.
I was going to say, no, yeah. Wheels and tires are shot, it looked like, but
Toast.
You have those
I have
Pentas with new tires on
with
them.
Nokians on it.
Love it. So
that
that'll
were on
bolt
the
right
wagon.
on. That's done. Exterior will be looking fine. You're going to bolt up the new manifold. That should be okay. What else does this thing, like transmissions on auto?
Yeah, it's an automatic transmission. These things don't
What's
need...
the interior look like? You can't
the
tell. The
interior is actually
locked.
quite nice.
Okay.
It doesn't look cracked, but the thing is that Mercedes-Benz vinyl,
MB Tex
lasts forever.
Yes, I know.
Forever. And for some, I don't understand.
How does it not get crinkly? You know what I mean?
It's like if
because it's obviously not leather or even vinyl.
I don't know what it is. I don't know.
Plastic hard.
I don't know what MB Tex is. I don't know. I don't know why it isn't used in every vehicle ever made, because it's always like in my.
But it's not supple.
It is like in my Mercedes, the 114. The seats were nice. They're like,
I know.
They're squishy. It's pliable. I don't know.
Probably cancerous.
It's gotta
be honest.
If it's too good to be true, it's gonna kill you. There's no question about that. But so the interior looked really nice. You could tell there's glass all over the floor. So one of the doors is like pink.
Yeah, I did.
It's like shitty, and there's glass inside the car. So my guess is someone broke the glass to break in, and the dad put a new door on it.
Okay,
that's how much he cared about this thing. He didn't just put seriously, he didn't put a garbage bag over the window.
Yeah, okay.
He went to the junkyard, got a door, and installed
he took one
of
the other 57 old Mercedes that were sitting next to it because he has a bag of keys.
Yeah, that's true. Does have the bag of keys.
Okay, well, that'll be interesting, and we'll have to obviously follow progress.
Okay,
on
so
that.
this real.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I showed you was an old 450 SL, which is a V8.
Okay.
Driving in the 79 Safari, the Safari Rally.
Yeah.
And in this video is also a W123.
Okay.
These are all same period of time, 70s, early 80s.
Okay.
These cars won these rallies. Nearly stock and unmodified. Okay. Yeah. The white car that is in this, if you want to see it, you can go to the Overcrest Instagram page. Go watch it right now. Pause this. Go look at it. There's a white 123 in there that has it's probably a 280. It was a lot what they used a lot of the time, or they used the single cam one too, but usually a 280 had 22,000 rally miles on the car previous to even starting this rally.
Okay.
Previous to even starting this rally.
Yeah.
These things are unbelievably overbuilt. Unbelievably so.
Were they really expensive at the time?
They were expensive. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
They were absolutely expensive.
Yeah.
But you have to understand that you look at the other cars that are competing in these rallies, these Alphas and 510s and these Opals and all these other things, they're full-blown fucking race cars.
Oh, yeah.
These things are like they have a roll cage welded in and they're lifted a little bit.
Yeah.
That's it. They didn't do anything else. And these cars, if you look at this reel and you look at what these cars look like by the time they get to the finish line, they're destroyed.
Yeah.
They're destroyed, but they won.
That's cool.
And I don't understand why you don't look. Maybe it's just because you don't know or you're uneducated in this.
The question, because I've thought of this.
Why don't you see this heritage and see what Mercedes has accomplished? Like, look at the 300 SL, the Gullwing. That's thing, cool that was an incredible. This W116 is designed by the same dude. Why don't you see this heritage and go, yeah, that's a cool car. That's got potential. That's neat. That's cool.
I think you're right. I haven't been exposed to it.
You have for 3, 5, however many years we've been doing this. I've been trying to pound it into your head that these things are cool, but you won't accept it. It's like I'm trying to put a square block in a round hole, and the round hole is your smooth brain, and I can't get it in there. What is going on?
And they are boxy cars, so it fits.
It does. What is your problem?
Okay, sure. I appreciate they are very successful. They have heritage. They're really well built. I know it's just not my cup of tea, Kris.
Why? You can't just say that. You have to justify it. This is a podcast. You need to explain yourself so that I can tell you you're wrong.
Kris, do you know the heritage and how awesome and premier and premium sushi is?
You are moving the goalpost.
No, I'm not.
Focus.
Sushi.
Focus.
This is an analogy. You love analogies.
Focus.
I'm answering your question with an analogy.
You're answering my question by moving the goalpost because I haven't tried sushi and I don't know anything about sushi.
Why can't you appreciate sushi and how great it is?
I have no opinion on sushi. I'm not saying I'm not interested in sushi. I don't know.
I will say I'm less.
You're moving the goalpost and avoiding the argument. Focus, Jake.
I'm trying. You know I have trouble with this.
I'm
not as viscerally opposed to Mercedes as I was 5 years ago.
Okay.
So that's something.
No, that's not an answer. That is not an answer.
It just doesn't excite me.
Why? The performance is there.
Mm-hmm.
The pedigree is there.
Mm-hmm.
The look is there.
Nope.
It's what it is. It's the look.
I think you're right.
What is it about the look that you don't like?
You know what it is? I think it really comes down to just the chrome grille.
The chrome grille.
100%.
So black it out. Plastic dip it.
It's just, I do not like that, and I don't like the hood ornament. Anything with a hood ornament is not meant to be sporty.
What?
That is my statement.
Give me a break.
Anything with a hood ornament is not meant to be sporty.
So anything built before 1960, fill in the blank, is not? Have you seen like the old Alphas and the old Ferraris and like all these old cars?
Sure, like pre-war. Anything post-war with a hood ornament is not sporty. There.
Jaguar.
Perfect. Yep.
Not sporty.
Nope.
Dude, come on.
It's a luxury car that they made fast. Same with the Mercedes.
It's not a luxury car that was made fast. It's a luxury car that is fast.
Uh-huh. I still don't. What? No, I don't.
Because it has a hood ornament. That's what we're boiling it down to.
That is, I think, really part of it. Yeah, I'm realizing that now. It's just that encompasses the whole kind of perception for me of a Mercedes. Like it's a very hoity-toity,
full of shit.
I understand it's like a very like good, well-built car, but it's a luxury old man car, and I understand they did really well in racing and everything else, but I just
let's for a second say. I mean, the cars were owned by doctors and lawyers.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not grandpas, like working doctors and lawyers. They were expensive.
Yes.
What does that have to do with anything? You are basing stop. You are basing your opinion on what other people are going to think of you when they see you driving it, rather than look.
That is how I buy all my cars.
That is horrible.
Not all my cars. Not
that is
really,
horrible,
honestly,
dude.
But of course I do. Most people always think of the perception that is given by a car.
Yeah, but that's not the primary reason.
Like driving that Escort.
Because you felt like what did you, Jake?
What?
If it's fun, and you have a good time,
yes,
and it's a good driving experience.
Part of the fun for me is the perception.
That's the most materialistic and terrible thing I've ever heard.
Sure, but a lot of people will base their car choices on what people think of that car.
I think a lot of people do it subconsciously.
Sure, and I'm just admitting it.
And you're doing it consciously. That's the difference.
Yes, I'm very introspective and self-aware. Thank you.
How do we get you to move beyond?
What do you want from me? Like, what do you actually want from me?
I don't know. I guess it's a completely foundational difference on what makes a car good. For you, if I don't look good in the car, I guess you could go back to Mike Burrows saying, "If what good is going fast if you don't look good doing it." I mean, he says the same thing. However, I don't.
This factors in to everyone's perception of a car. Period.
Yes, but it is about looking good in the car, not the car looking good, not the perception of what you think other people are going to perceive of you driving the car. That is the difference.
A lot of people think that way, though.
I'm
one of them, and I'll admit it.
That makes me extremely sad because it's super shallow.
Well, it doesn't have to be like a super expensive sports car or something. I love
this car's free.
It's
free.
Whatever.
These are the cheapest.
I would much rather be driving my C10 that is ratty and like has patina and whatever than this thing. because I think
the
that
Mercedes
looks
is
cooler.
closer to your actual lifestyle than that C10.
Yes, sure.
So you would rather lie to people about who you are
Yeah.
than be who you are.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Now that we've got that taken care of, we can
that note.
we can move on. I guess. All right, let's do a little bit of news. Did
you know what I'm disappointed by, Chris?
What are you disappointed by?
We don't have any voicemails this week.
We didn't have no voicemails.
Not a
I thought
single
for sure,
one. I thought people liked us.
I thought
At least me.
I thought we were going to get some voicemails on the Kippenberger thing because we did get a bunch of Discord conversations and some DMs of I can't stand that guy.
Yep.
I can't stand that guy. I know. And look, I understand.
You caught
Kippenberger,
me. I think,
what?
Not rolling my eyes, but sometimes I forget that we also have video.
Yeah.
And I certainly had reactions, as I'm sure a lot of people listening had. And you said I didn't mask those very well.
Yeah, you got to be more considerate. That's for sure.
I'm sorry.
But the point is this: Kippenberger is a very controversial individual. He has controversial opinions. He has controversial products. He's a controversial person. Okay. I think it's important to delve in, discuss, and explore these topics and these people. Otherwise, it's a glimpse. Like, he is a glimpse into a lifestyle in the world that I would otherwise have no porthole into at all. I just have no concept of this ultra wealthy world. And every time I talk to him, I feel like I'm getting some insight into it. And for better or for worse, just because I'm interested in talking about these things doesn't mean I prescribe or I don't know what the right word is, or agree with everything that's said. I still think it's worthy of discussion in the same way that if I went to an art museum and there was some gobbledygook fucking painting on the wall that doesn't make any sense to me, and there's four dudes standing almost always, there's four dudes standing in front of him. Yeah, I really like how the intersection of the reds and the blues, they really invoke a sense of my childhood. And I'm standing there going like, what is this cubist shit? This doesn't make any sense. And those guys, 100%, are taking their thoughts and opinions on that painting and the fact that they can get it and painting you as the person that doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
So you are not in the group.
Right.
But I still like to experience that and try to understand and get like a piece of it so I can make. My point is, we're going to have controversial people on the podcast sometimes.
Sure. What I will say,
put your big boy pants on.
Come on.
You don't have to.
What do you always say?
What's that?
Serve the audience.
Serve the audience. Yes.
So if the audience doesn't like it, I want to serve the audience. Something else.
I do get a lot of DMs that are like, that dude's really interesting. Weird, but interesting. Okay.
And I get other ones.
I'm sure you do. I'm probably because they saw you rolling your eyes like they're like, oh, I can relate with that guy. I can definitely relate with that guy.
Anyway,
we're gonna have controversial people on from time to time.
I get that.
And I think it keeps things fresh and interesting.
Things interesting. Exactly. That's what it goes down to.
For sure. All right. What have we got for news?
The whole point of that
what? Yes.
was leave us a voicemail.
Yes.
612-500-7345.
7345. That was memorized. I had that in my head.
You're reading it right here.
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
It was actually in my head. 500-7345.
Yep. There you go.
I wish it was 3456, but 612-500-7345.
You got it.
That's it.
That's
Give us a call. Good. Leave us a voicemail on any topic.
Oh, man.
Anything.
And we may or may not play it.
We may or may not play it, depending on what your anything topic is. Also, over Kris Drivers Club, you can support the show.
That's right.
It is as little as $5 a month.
And what do you get?
Anything you want.
What?
And buy anything you want.
Not right.
I mean, you get to feel good about yourself, which is priceless. It's truly a priceless thing.
Yep.
You can also get T-shirts. You can get prints, depending on what level you sign up for. There's a million different options.
But you will.
And by that I mean 3.
Yeah, a million options of 3. You get access to exclusive content. We have a whole back catalog of
early access to merch.
Yep.
We don't ever order a lot of merch, so if it sells out and you're not a Drivers Club member, that's your own fault.
You're right.
That's
so head over there, overcrestproductions.com/Drivers Club.
All right.
Would you like to hear about some news, Chris?
A little bit.
Only a little bit?
Of news. Yeah.
How much bit?
Like 20 minutes worth.
Okay. Well, Tesla has run out of steering wheels. Back in 2021, Tesla announced that the Model S and Model X SUV would be fitted with the now infamous yoke steering wheel.
Yeah, the
in
airplane
place of
thing. It looks like an airplane from
circle.
like a Cessna.
Yeah, a yoke. Yeah, exactly. And initially this was an option, but soon the electric car maker decided that the
So
yoke.
what is the reason for this yoke? Do we know? Like, why did they put this on there?
Why do they do anything? Because it's different and interesting, and
Lexus
Elon
did it too.
liked it.
Lexus has a yoke on one of their new cars that's coming out.
Really?
Yeah, it has no drive shaft whatsoever, or a steering
column.
Steering
Yeah,
column.
yeah, it's electric.
Well, it has a steering column, but it doesn't have a shaft. They have a yoke instead. It's pretty crazy shit. I don't understand the mentality.
What do you mean it doesn't have a steering shaft?
It's not connected to the
right.
steering.
Okay, yeah. So there's no steering column connected to
Correct.
the actual.
It's just a servo
electric,
that,
which is very strange.
Very strange.
Because
very
then
terrifying.
what happens if you like lose all power somehow? I don't know.
I don't
that
know.
seems very unsafe. How did then HTSA allow that?
I don't know.
Regardless, they also allowed this yoke in the Tesla for some reason in place of a traditional steering wheel. Initially, it was just an option, but soon Tesla decided that the yoke would be mandatory on all of these vehicles. And what followed was the eventual realization that you actually shouldn't reinvent the wheel. The yoke was
I see what you did there.
impractical and ridiculous to use day to day. There was apparently a ton of like videos online of people like trying to back their car into a spot or something, and you're like, how do I?
When you're in a plane and you're holding a yoke, you do 1/4 turn.
Yep,
that's all there is.
Right,
that's everything.
Right.
That is like, holy shit,
I should have looked into this more. We don't know, but I know it had variable rate steering.
Yep.
So it may only have been. No, it was more than a quarter turn.
Yeah, it was more than.
It was
I watched
definitely more
people
than a
like
quarter
hand
turn.
over hand.
Yeah, it's very dumb. Regardless, so the yoke was impractical, ridiculous to use. Well, just 2 years after the yoke was introduced, Tesla added an option for new Model X and Y customers to spec their cars with a regular steering wheel. And this was soon followed by another wheel that could be retrofitted to any of the EVs that had been shipped with the dumb yoke feature.
Yep.
The $700 retrofit was first released last week, and as of today, it is completely sold out already because everyone realized this is the dumbest thing and they want a steering wheel.
$700 is a lot of money for a steering wheel that
You
looks
would
like a
think
dolphin's head.
It should have been like, oh, by the way, we are going to go back and offer the steering wheel so you can, as a no-cost option, get this.
Right.
You would think that's what they would do.
So I pulled this up. Tesla claims that using one improves visibility.
Never been a problem.
Yeah, never been a problem here either.
Visibility to what? It's below the windshield. You're not looking through the steering wheel.
The gauge cluster, which they don't really have.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense to me. Lexus asserts that its steer-by-wire system is more responsive.
Right. No
way.
More responsive than a physical connection?
No,
that's not possible.
That is not not possible. So I think the problem is that, okay, look at what does this say? Rather than spin round and round the RZ, which is the Lexus, their yoke can be turned only 150 degrees in either direction. So it's half.
You can put it almost upside down.
Almost up. Nobody's going to drive like that.
No.
Nobody's going to drive like that.
It's still ridiculous.
It's stupid. I think the thing is that we're still trying to. You still have manufacturers that are trying to find progress.
You always have to innovate or at least differentiate. What it comes down to is differentiation, right?
And progress. Because if you're not doing that, then you're making cars like a W116 that will run forever. Mercedes learned pretty fast in the 80s.
Why did we even stop? Continue, Chris. We could have stopped right there.
What?
With like a W116.
Yeah, exactly.
That should have been it.
Seriously, other than safety. Okay, I understand like advancements in safety, but realistically, the Mercedes stuff that was built in the 80s, especially the 124 stuff, there's you go on YouTube and look this up, it's like, this taxi driver's got 1.6 million kilometers on his, and the thing just looks like a can that was like crushed and then like pulled open again. Crushed and then pulled open again.
When did they stop using the W123 numbering?
I think they still use W stuff.
Really?
I think
I want you
honestly
to provide a list of every single internal model code so I can just read down
driven?
No, sure. That
what are you
too.
just going to quiz me?
No,
on
I'm just curious. I want to read down the line and be like, okay, we got the W114, we got the W116, we got the 123, we got the 124, we got the and does it go on? Well,
it doesn't go on forever.
I know, but it's kind of silly that there's a lot of different models that all sound the same.
You got to keep in mind also, this is the internal chassis designation.
It's not what you would call it.
So, I mean, you have E46.
But we are throwing it out there a heck of a lot, and I have no idea what all those mean.
E30, E46, E36,
Yep.
E52. Like, what do all these numbers have to do with each other?
No,
Nothing.
they don't. I know.
Nothing. So it's just an internal 901,
You're right.
911.
It's because I'm not familiar.
You're not familiar. It's just an internal chassis designation. Everything kind of makes sense from like the brand or the model plate point of view.
Mhm.
It's a 280. It's a 2.8 liter.
Sure.
The 600 is a 6 liter V12.
Yeah, just
the
don't
5
look
liter
at
is
the
5
modern
liter
stuff.
V8. What's that?
I said just don't.
No,
look
yeah,
at
the modern
stuff.
stuff's like wildly out of control. That happened in the
They have,
early
like,
2000s.
5 different SUV lines, like the G.
It's all messed up. Everybody gave
A,
up.
B,
Audi
C,
gave up.
D, E.
Audi doesn't make sense anymore.
Yeah.
Like none of it makes
I
sense
know.
anymore. But it used to be like, 4.0 was a
Or
400
I
SEO.
injection.
Yeah,
I know.
exactly.
Okay. Anyways, Chris, do you know that there is a Mustang GT3?
What?
Yeah.
Like
So the Mustang is set to enter the IMCA or IMSA Sports Car Championship in 2024, racing in the GTD Pro class. That means it's going to be competing against cars like the Aston Martin Vantage, the Corvette, Mercedes-AMG GT, and Porsche 911.
Interesting. I wonder if this has anything to do with their foray into Formula One. Just like doing different
the motors.
Obviously, it's not going to be the same motor or anything like that.
No.
They're just launching into
motorsport.
motorsport.
I was just reiterating that Ford is providing motors for Formula
I'm just saying maybe they're
2026.
trying to do more motorsport oriented things.
Yeah, I really like the Mustang, as you know, and I think it's really cool that we get to see them in endurance racing. But what's even more cool,
this thing looks really cool,
is the idea that they may make a road version of this GT3 car. So on Tuesday, Ford CEO Jim Farley tweeted a video of the Mustang GT3 race car undergoing testing at Sebring. Hours later, he retweeted his own tweet asking if Ford should make a road version. Such a car could target the likes of the Porsche 911 GT3. And it may seem dumb or pedantic to make a road car based on a race car that was previously based on a road car, but there are numerous changes that would make it extremely special and capable. So listen to this, Chris. Mustang GT3s in race spec feature a completely unique suspension architecture with unequal length double wishbone.
That's all I get. That's all the sound we get, apparently.
Okay. But so
wait. All right. Well, whatever. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
No. So like really advanced suspension, a complete carbon fiber body with different provisions for additional downforce and cooling capacity, and most notably, a rear-mounted transaxle for better weight distribution.
Interesting. And they're going to sell this to the public.
Well, the question is, should they make a GT3 street version?
Of course.
And I'll be excited.
Any competition in this arena, anything that can knock the 911 GT3 down a peg is fine with me. Please.
I think it'd be awesome. And I like the Mustang in general. So I'll be excited to watch, this car race in the coming year and to see if a street legal GT3 version actually makes it to production.
We'll see.
Speaking of Formula One, we previously reported that Porsche intended to enter Formula One alongside its sister brand Audi as part of the new engine regulations going into effect in 2026. Well, today Porsche announced that it has ended its formal evaluation for the program and will not join the Formula One grid. So while Audi decided to commit to building its own F1 engine and concluded a deal to buy into the Sauber team, Porsche talks with likes of Red Bull and McLaren collapsed because Porsche wanted to buy a significant stake or even a controlling stake in the teams themselves.
And they're all like, no. Red Bull, I think they were really focusing on Red Bull a lot. Red Bull just built their own engine manufacturing facility. Yeah. They're not going to do this.
Which we've talked about it before. I still don't understand how a energy drink company has that much money to throw at Formula One.
Well, it's $3 to $4 a can.
It's ridiculous. Instead, the manufacturer, Porsche's focus is apparently going to remain on its existing motorsport programs, including a Works Formula E entry and a high-profile return to the top class at Le Mans as part of the 963 hypercar project. That could be cool.
Okay, in 2021, what do you think Red Bull Formula One team generated in terms of money?
Generated?
Yeah. What are their race team and everything?
Like with winnings or actual volume of drinks sold?
No, I'm talking about their Formula One team.
Yeah.
What did their Formula One team generate as a turnover in 2021 for money?
Not as much as they spent. I don't know. It's astronomical. I know that.
238 million pounds
is what they won.
That's what they've earned. like endorsement deals, everything else. $238 million.
Okay, now what did they spend on the program?
I don't know. I don't know what they spent
Well,
on the program.
more.
That's dictated by regulation now, what they actually spend.
It's either way, it's ridiculous. All right, Kris, we've known for a while now.
That's per year. It's like unbelievable.
Oh yeah, it's incomprehensible.
It's a lot of money.
I keep, like, when you watch Drive to Survive or anything, I keep just thinking, this is literally an energy drink company. It's wild to me.
It's not anymore though.
I know it's
okay.
More
the
than
company
that.
sold more than 7 billion cans in 2019, earning $6 billion.
Wow.
Sales of energy drinks account for over 90% of the revenue. And that was in 2019.
Wow.
So $6 billion. And in today's dollars, that's $10 billion. And considering we've had so much inflation in the last however many years.
Although I wonder if you need more or less Red Bull after COVID.
Oh, that's a good question.
It's 2019. Anyways, let's move along to our next story.
Yeah.
So you remember the EU, or more specifically the European Commission's mandate of banning the sale of internal combustion engines starting in 2035.
Yep, ban. No, you can't buy a new,
Done.
You can't do it.
Right. Well, it's no surprise that Germany's automotive industry has basically come together and been lobbying hard, convincing other countries in the EU that the EC itself to allow the use of synthetic fuels.
Probably because they see their entire business like going to shit. People aren't buying the cars. People are scared. The infrastructure is not there.
Yep.
I think they're they're getting a little gun shy. I think they're getting scared. I think they are.
Yeah. Well, whatever it is, Franz Timmerman, the head of the EC and the person overseeing the EU's climate policy as a whole, took to Twitter on Saturday to announce an agreement on the exemption that has been reached. Quote, "We have found an agreement with Germany on the future use of e-fuels in cars." Now, an e-fuel, by the way, is any synthetic fuel which is carbon neutral, where the production process typically involves some form of carbon capturing technology.
Right. Which we had a listener. He contacted me. He's like, "Yeah, I wrote my thesis paper on this."
Yes.
I don't.
Have you reached out to him?
I lost the DM.
What?
I've lost it.
How?
If you were listening, please DM me again.
Oh my goodness.
I want to talk to you about synthetic fuels. I think
Yes.
it could be
because
incredible.
I am super
my question
curious
is
about it.
Here's my question. And we maybe touched on this. If I'm being repetitive, I am sorry. But this kind of reminds me of ethanol, right? It's renewable, comes out of the ground,
right?
Blah, blah, blah.
It's corn. Yeah.
But the thing is if you took the entire state of Minnesota,
right,
covered it in corn, converted all that corn to ethanol, it wouldn't be enough for the Twin Cities.
For the Twin Cities?
Wouldn't be enough. There's not enough. That's why it's like most cars run like E10, E15.
Right.
You know, we have Iowa and all these other places that do ethanol. So it's just,
that's why actually,
maybe this was a while ago now. This is like 5-6 years ago when I did this math. It might be different now, but my point is, how much carbon is there to be captured in the air?
Well, I have a few questions on that as well. First of all, do you know Brazil, long before we used corn for ethanol, was using switchgrass, which is a different product that you can convert into ethanol? And I think it's much more efficient as far as like square acre.
Yeah, but you don't grow that in Iowa, so you don't have switchgrass lobbyists.
True. That is exactly what it comes down to. You're right. As far as these e-fuels or synthetic fuels, first of all, I hate that they're calling fuel. It's like the iPhone. Like they have to make it catchy, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing
fuel.
There's nothing electric about it. Yeah.
It's environmental fuel.
You're right. That's probably what it comes to. So my question is, one, no, it probably doesn't need carb. Okay. We have a ton of other carbon sources in the earth, as we know.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So is the carbon capturing from the atmosphere, is this necessary for the production of the fuel?
Yes, because no. But here's the thing. Instead of pulling it out of the ground,
we're going to
pull putting it into the air.
Yes. Now we're going to pull it out of the air to put it back in the air.
And then pull it out of the air again. So if you see
I
it that
understand
way,
it's a cycle. Yeah.
It's a zero sum game is what they want.
Correct.
That's what they want. But my question is,
what about the production? Like,
I'm sure that takes, maybe they use the carbon that they capture as the energy. Because I know that these things are completely net.
It's supposed to be completely net neutral as far as carbon footprint.
Exactly.
Yes, I understand.
So I'm sure that whatever they capture, they use. I don't know how this works. Please contact me,
how
Mr.
do you make
PhD.
the fuel? And also, most importantly, how do you capture carbon from the atmosphere?
Do you
have any idea?
Here's what,
like a giant vacuum is just.
No, I imagine, like, for some reason this is ridiculous. But I imagine like a little kid with like a butterfly net.
Yeah. Woo, carbon.
Got some.
How do you capture it, and what is the actual process?
It is probably the same type of technology that they use when they're scrubbing carbon dioxide from like the space shuttle and things like that. Because you breathe out carbon dioxide.
And I know from Apollo 11, the movie, all you need is what? Duct tape and some cellophane.
Yeah.
And I don't forget, they did it there.
Yeah. But
Anyways.
that's a scrubber system.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's what they use to capture
Sure.
it, but I don't know.
Some chemical process.
It's, human
Very
beings are
strange.
incredible. What we're able to do. So
Should
Just
these capturing
imagine.
plants be like in the middle of cities where there is a lot of carbon produced?
why not have like a carbon capture thing on my own roof so I can generate?
This has to be highly inefficient as far as a process.
It
You
has
know what
to
I
be.
mean?
At least right now, there can't be that much carbon in the air.
I don't know.
All right, Mr. PhD, please.
Yes,
Please
get back to us.
contact
We
me.
have no idea what
I'm
we're
gonna have
talking
to post
about.
on Instagram about this too.
You should do that.
All right,
Okay,
one more.
anyways,
One more. You pick.
Oh, we're done with that story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we are. Let's see. Do you care about Schumacher's old F1 cars going to auction?
No.
Okay. The Camaro is done.
Yep,
That's
saw that.
basically all
Camaro's
the
dead.
story. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, let's talk about this thing.
Dodge just revealed the 2023 Dodge Challenger SRT Demon 170. So this is the seventh final special edition. This is the last call.
It's the last call for the last call because we know they had like 750
This is
different editions.
the end of the gas-powered muscle car. It will be put to rest
This
after
was a lost opportunity for a much better name.
Well, let me explain the name to you, but I agree. So the Last of the Demons goes on sale this summer with a devilish price of $96,666. The 170 is rated at 1,025 horsepower on E85
Unreal.
and 900 horsepower on regular old premium
That's
gasoline.
all that they could get extra was 125 horsepower from E85.
Yeah, but it's a flex fuel vehicle. It's not dedicated to E85.
I suppose that's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
The Demon
So the injectors have to be able to operate in both environments.
The Demon's 170 name is a nod to the 170
So what is
proof rating of E85.
Yeah, okay. It's still a stupid name.
Yeah.
So what would this thing be able to do if you just ran only E85 and had E85 injectors in it that flowed? What is it capable of then?
I don't know. They said they had to completely redo this motor because it kept they tried just running basically the stock Demon motor on E85, which I don't know if you can or not, but they tried 100% or E85 and it kept blowing up because it made so much torque.
Just shit canning.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think they've.
What a fun job that would be.
Yeah.
Just blowing up Hellcat motor. All right, let's throw out another one.
Let's see. Dodge said the 0 to 60 time is 1.6 seconds and will punish the driver with a full 2 G's of acceleration.
Well, that makes the dollar on the dash thing a pretty good bet. If you put $100, you never seen this?
No.
So you if you've got a fast car, you say you put like $100 bill on the dash, and you have the person sit in the seat, and you go during this quarter mile run. If you can grab the $100, you can have it.
Oh, I like that.
And there's cars that are fast enough that you can't because you're just getting your ass kicked so hard.
Yeah, it rips through the quarter mile in an NHRA certified 8.91 seconds. And traps at 151.
How is this legal?
The 170 is the fastest accelerating and quickest production car ever sold.
How does the National Highway Transportation, whatever?
Yeah.
How when they crash test this thing, they go, yeah, it's fine up to about 35 miles an hour.
Right. Yep. And they go, oh well, I can do that in what 0.002 seconds.
Man, I kudos to whatever branch of government it is
that
allows this to happen, because this thing could not be sold in Europe.
No,
Europe has already given itself up to be just a pansy government-run state.
So at
least here we've still got some cojones.
So I was trying to remember the previous Demon and like what the specs were on this and how it compares. So the previous Dodge Demon had 840 horsepower and ran the quarter mile in 9.65 seconds, which prompted the infamous NHRA ban that they then turned into an advertisement. So basically, anything under 10 seconds required a full cage.
Yep.
So they tested this car, and NHRA basically stated this letter sent to Dodge saying, this cannot be legally run at the track unless the user puts in a cage.
Yeah.
We will not allow it.
Right.
And so they published that in magazines, just the letter.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
It reminds me of somebody else publishing stuff like that. The the rocket fuel thing where the cars all crash.
Oh, yeah. And he's like, look at So when it comes to the new Demon 170, the NHRA already published a violation letter, as the sub 9-second quarter requires not only a cage, but also a parachute.
Is that an option? Is it like a factory option?
Yes, it is. To drop weight, there's no front passenger seat, no rear seat, no trunk carpeting, no sound insulation, no trunk light, and the radio only has 2 speakers.
Well, that's more than most of the cars I get for free have.
True, but you're not spending
there's the ones I get are usually
$100,000
made out of
on
like
it.
red Solo cups. They're just the worst.
So in addition to options that includes, the full interior you can get back.
Parachute, roll cage.
Other items include a fully carbon fiber wheels, which drop 16 pounds per corner, the aforementioned parachute and roll cage, and you can even get a factory installed CO2 bottle for the charge cooler.
Jake, this is insane. I'm glad.
It's so amazing.
So we talked to what's his face, a couple weeks ago about Richard Rawlings.
Yeah.
Which whether muscle is dead or not, and he kind of like waxed on poetic about how muscle is all about rebellion and everything else.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I really feel like muscle is theater a lot.
Yes, you're right.
It's theater. It's imparting power and flair on others. Muscle is in a rebellious way. They're loud, they're obnoxious, they're fast.
In a way, you could say the
rules.
driver cares about what other people think of the car.
I think it's more of a byproduct of what it like. You would go street racing.
What I'm calling back to?
I'm trying to ignore you because honestly it makes you look really materialistic and bad. I absolutely hate it.
I'm just acknowledging what most people also put into a decision around buying and
send emails to jake@overcrestproductions.com.
Yes, I understand it's not ideal, but we're not driving around in like whatever EconoBox gray beige thing if we didn't care about what we drive.
Of course we care about what we drive. The difference is you're saying you care more about whatever other people think about what you drive.
I do not care more about what other people think.
Then why?
Because I would have a new 911 rather than an old 1970 air-cooled if I thought that.
No, I think that that gets into a whole can of worms of new versus old and perception of it. I think people like seeing the old stuff more.
Okay, but I do have that because I like driving that. There's such a character to it that obviously you can't perceive just by looking at it, right? So no, why do you like deeper and more than that?
Why do you like saying
you have to acknowledge that part of a decision of what car you have is the perception of the car
by other people.
But by definition, yes.
Yeah, but it's not like top 5 for me. I just buy something I think will be fun.
Yeah, but you also are very prideful and proud to not give a crap about what other people think. Yeah. Like that is part of your personality trait.
For sure.
Yes.
For sure.
For most people, we're
gonna have to put that out there. We're gonna have to put it out there for a poll. I want to see.
I realize it makes me sound very materialistic, but I'm just acknowledging it so that you can also understand, right? Like you have to acknowledge that, yes, a lot of people buy cars for the perception of the car.
Mm-hmm.
Why does Lamborghini exist?
Why does
Lamborghini exist as a brand?
This coming from the guy who like
showy car that's only existing. Like, what is it to be a baller? Right? That whole concept is you're trying to show off.
No, the whole Mercedes concept is the best or nothing. That's what their marketing term is.
Well, an older Mercedes like that is not my perception of that. Nor is it most people's.
When it was new, it was.
Okay.
And you have to take things in the context of when they're new. Otherwise, you might as well just buy new cars.
I don't remember how this came from the Mercedes conversation.
What's that?
Just like that part of a car's, why you pick a car is based on the perception to other people.
Because you said that.
Right. But how is that in relation to Mercedes?
Because you don't want to be seen as an old man.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to be seen as a guy in a Mercedes.
Yeah.
You don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
The question is, why do you like the driven to death car?
And it's not the livery. I will say that first of all.
Mm-hmm.
It's that car is so unique in the fact with if it didn't have the side draft carbs on it and a manual trans, I wouldn't like it.
I think I wanted to bring that up because I think that's your main gripe.
What?
Almost every Mercedes comes with an automatic transmission.
That is a large part of it.
I think if it was,
and it's fine if you're not trying to be a sports car or Yeah, maybe that's what I dislike, is you keep harping on the fact that these cars have such a pedigree of racing and motorsport, right?
Mm-hmm.
I bet every single one of those cars was not an automatic and was not built as a luxury car.
Newsflash. The car that won the 79 African Rally was an automatic.
That's surprising to me.
Yeah.
I don't like
they
it.
They shifted, man. There was 3 cars. One of them was a 4-speed. One of them was an automatic, and they shifted it manually.
Yeah.
They did
Very
it.
strange.
Yeah, it fucking doesn't break. That's what it really comes down to, I think, for Mercedes, is this thing cannot break ever. Or at least it used to. And I think that's what's most valuable to me. Okay, anyways, Jake, do you like the Dakar?
I do like
the rally.
The Dakar. Yes, I did a whole history episode on where the Dakar came from and
we've
its
talked
origin.
about it many times.
Yes.
Next week I have Skylar Howes coming on.
Okay.
He races for Husqvarna.
Is that how you say Husqvarna?
Or you say Husky. Call it Husky,
Right,
but it's
Husky.
Husqvarna.
Husqvarna.
Yes. Maybe he'll be able to correct us on that. We have him coming on next week. And I'm always looking for stories of perseverance and overcoming. And I think anybody, you can look at any of these guys and they're all
and you're like, wow,
kings
you're a
of that.
badass.
Kings
right?
of that.
Yes.
So we have him coming on next week to talk about his journey to being able to, from privateer to professional.
That's
racing
awesome.
in the car.
I'm
Look forward to
talk
that.
to him.
On that note, we will see you guys next week.
Take care.